All right, everyone, welcome to our training in our Zoom. I'm so excited about this. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Heather Gnifke. I started Plexus this July will be 3 years ago. I hit Emerald in 1 year, thanks to Wendy, who's going to be speaking. She is my direct upline. She was a good friend of mine for 4 years. She asked me to do this. I think it was almost 4 years, and I kept saying, I don't need it. Don't talk about it. So finally said yes in 1 year, July to the next July, I hit Emerald. I double ranked the month before. I went Ruby, Senior Ruby in June. July, I hit Emerald. And I have my husband TJ sitting by me. He is a gold with Plexus. He did not enroll though until August, following when I hit Emerald. So I hit Emerald in July, and then he started Plexus in August, but he had been using my products I would order for our whole family. So he liked it after a while of debating if he was on board or not. So I asked Wendy if she would come up on today because she's been my lifeline with Plexus and helped me get to Emerald. She's helped me with all the things. She has a business mindset like no one that I've ever met. And so she's always been in my back office, kind of helping me, navigating, showing me how to do this. And so we talk often, and I'm like, can you help me out here? Like, help me with, we have massive duplication on our team. Our team is growing like crazy, which is a huge blessing. I think we have added 100 plus people the last 4 months straight. Last month was 96. We're almost there. But we have duplication. Retention is a passion of all of our teams. And so it's like, can you come share your knowledge with all of us, and the wisdom that you're giving me, can you pass on to our team? So I want to introduce Wendy. She is a dear, dear friend of mine who lives in Minnesota. She's a diamond. Her husband, Josh, is an emerald. But let me tell you about her. She's not just a diamond, you guys. She's a 6-star diamond. And 6-star diamond means she has went wide. That means she has a jewel. She has 6 levels wide that are jewels. That's a big deal. Not one diamond that followed a bunch of diamonds. She has that too, but she went wide, and you guys, has created a legacy business. And that is my dreams. That's what we would like for our family, so he can be home every day, all day, and not have to go back to work after a lunch break. But I'm so encouraged by Wendy, by her mindset, by the way she coaches, and the way she has created this legacy business. So I'm going to turn it over to Wendy, and I can't wait to just gain a lot of her wisdom from this call.
Well, thank you guys all for being on and for supporting me. It's been a long time since I've done a training, but when Heather and I were having this conversation, it basically just came down to like, Wendy, I hear you say this all the time about building under husbands or not building under husbands. And she goes, what does that mean? Show me what that means. And I'm like, you know what? Let's do a training on this because I'm really super passionate about it. And I like numbers. Okay. Just to give you guys a little bit of a background, before Plexus, we were at poverty level. We hit the churches for extra food, and we were on WIC. And I think poverty is not a bad thing. Poverty actually teaches you to be resourceful. It teaches you a little bit about money. And if you're in the right mindset, it teaches you to be self-sustainable, whether that's, right now I just got 100 meat birds, so I'm going to be self-sustaining myself for the next year with that. But it's like, if you have the right mindset, if you have the grit and the determination and the willing to learn, and I hope that this training will actually be a place of learning. This is not a place for anybody to feel offense, because that's not my motive. It's my place to educate. And what you do with that is entirely up to you. That's the beauty of this business, is that you get to run it how you feel is best for you and your family. So I like numbers. I like to figure out how to make numbers work for our family. I think I'm pretty good at it. I have figured out this compensation plan and all the nicks and crannies. Is that right? Nicks and crannies. That's not nooks and crannies. I crunch numbers. I crunch numbers all the time. We are a debt-free family. We don't have a car payment. Our kids have figured out, they have listened to our training. Ella my daughter, she's 21 years old. She bought her first parcel of real estate at age 18 and now owns her own home at age 21. My son is 16 and bought his own vehicle, cash. So it's like, I feel like I have a pretty good resume on business, and I hope what I share today, you'll take some nuggets from, okay? So first and foremost, Heather's going to do a screen share of a PowerPoint. And we're just gonna kind of go along with that so that we can stay on track and I don't sit here and squirrel. So we're gonna share that PowerPoint. Does signing your spouse too early hurt your long-term plexus business? That's the question that we're gonna ask ourselves in these beginning stages. So we can flip to the next screen. We're going to talk about what that looked like for a fellow diamond friend of mine, Marianne Anderson. We met a few years ago when she started rocking and rolling in the plexus business. She's actually part of our big team under Lori and Amber. And I really liked her energy. And so she and I became good friends. And she's a diamond and her husband's a diamond. But guess what her story is? She signed up her husband, Drew, to get him silver to earn like success sprints or maybe a remark or an iPad or something. She did it to win some contest with no intention of working his business. Okay. And then what did she do? She actually signed up a rock star. One of those 3 people that she signed up ended up being a runner right away. And now she has to deal with trying to grow her own business on top of this one just to balance it out, because now she's uneven. Now she doesn't have enough level 1s personally sponsored that are ordering. She doesn't have enough outside leg points. And this took years to balance out because that one person under her husband just took off. And so her team kind of grew up watching this struggle with Marianne and Drew. And it turned out okay now because of her work ethic and because she's very open about this, but it was hard. It took up a lot of time from her family because she was working so hard to try to balance this other leg while it was growing and taking off. And so they now have a rule on their team. I guess you could call it a rule. It's an unwritten rule. It's a verbal rule. It's something that they train down, and they do not sign spouses until they hit 6,000 points, because that is a rock solid diamond. You're not losing. You've got enough outside leg. And now you can work another business because you have built up so many leaders on that first person under herself that she doesn't have to worry about anymore. She's developed people and it's growing interest like crazy. Okay. So now she can do and focus on Drew. So that's that story. I've seen it happen many times before on other people. So let me just share with you a few statistics on some spousal-led accounts that I pulled. I pulled jewel accounts, spouse jewel accounts for this data information. I pulled silvers and golds and rubies. Like I pulled all over the place. I pulled on people that don't even have they don't even have anybody ordering under their husband anymore, but yet they still order every single month. So I pulled a lot of information to gather this data. Number 1, the retention loss rate is higher than 50% on spousal accounts, some as high as 90%. So that means half of the people that you bring in are not sticking around. So there's probably a relational problem or coaching issue, or are we just signing people for the next prize? Like you have to ask yourself, what is the purpose of signing this person? Okay. Is it that $20 BBB that you want to get every single time you sign them up? Like, what's your motive? All right. Number 2, less than 1%. It was seriously like less than 1% of all recruited level 1s on spousal accounts were developed silver and above. That is very, very, very telling to me. Okay. Because what that means is, okay, I like money markets. I do stock markets. I do crypto. I do real estate. I do high interest bearing savings accounts. This to me tells me that this is just a deposit. This is a socialism type of a business with this spousal account if less than 1% of the people are developed. That means you are just handing over this husband a new person. You're feeding them and they're doing no work. They're expecting a handout. And Matt, okay, you guys, really the husband's not expecting that, but that we're just going to umbrella it like that because that spouse may not actually be working the account. Okay. My husband didn't work his account. Okay. Let's just be real. Not all of them do. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. That's not the business part of this, but less than 1%. So you're just feeding this account. You're just making deposits and hoping that it gains interest, but it's actually not. It's losing money. Okay, so it's a bad investment. Number 3, if on average a level 1 was actually developed on that spousal account to silver or above, 4 out of 5 of those people actually continued ordering every single month, which is an 80% retention rate. So we went from we're losing half to holding 80% if we could get them silver or higher. In some of these accounts that I looked at that were still ordering that were silver and higher were like years and years and years of ordering still. Not just months, but years and years and years of ordering still. So take that into consideration too. What are you using this spousal account for? Are you trying to gain interest back? You want high bearing interest if you're going to be putting time and money in it. Anyway, that'll be on the next screen. Okay. Okay, time or talent. I use this picture specifically. I don't know if you know any of these diamonds, but these are the diamonds under Marianne. That person in the middle with the hat on and she's dressed in all black, she was the rock star that took off under Marianne's husband's account. Her name is Jennifer Cobb. Those are all of her diamonds. And they all waited until 6,000 points before signing spouses. Do you know what else? They all were in Portugal. That tells me they have built wide so that when we're earning points on contests, we're earning the highest maximum amount of points possible because we're getting points on levels 1s and 2s and 3s and 4s. Okay. And look at all those people across the board that they can collect points off of. These were actually the top 10 earners at Portugal. Top 10 in the entire company. Now, I once heard that if you want to parent your children right, you watch parents that are doing they're kind of modeling the behavior of the type of parent that you want to be, and you mimic that. And the same thing goes with maybe a mentor who might be, a Titus 2 woman. You look to somebody who's modeling a behavior that you want to duplicate. I look at these girls and I ask them, what were you doing? What do you think about spousal accounts? And they're like, oh, let me tell you. And I got really good feedback about why it's so important to wait and build wide. And that's just, I want to model people that have already gone ahead and had the insane success with it. They're already at 6,000 points, you guys. That's crazy money. Anyway, think about when you're adding people to your spousal account, people are not just a sale, they're an investment, which means you have to put time into them. You have to teach them how to grow a business. And they're not just product takers all the time. Look at those 4 to 5 people that got silver, stayed ordering. So it's not just about the product, it's also about affording the product. And so I think that actually takes a lot of practice. And somebody who is early in their business might need a little bit more practice talking about the business. So the cost of spousal accounts. You are going to be paying $39.95 annually to hold that account. You also have to have a commitment of $100 PV in order to get paid on that account. And if you actually add up what it costs for just the triplex taxes and shipping, plus that annual fee, you are paying $1,813 just to hold that spousal account. Okay. Now, if you were to get that spouse silver and hold it, you will get a one-time bonus of $100. You're going to get paid $2.59 a point on business points. Last month it was $2.63, so it's gone up. That's great. You're going to get business building bonuses, which I actually think I erred on. I was going off of the old comp plan that's still ingrained in my brain. I believe we only get $20 BBB, right, on our level ones? Or is it 25? I think it's 20.
25 if they order the 209 welcome pack.
Oh, okay. Okay. So we're just going to say they did for my math sake here. It's, you will get paid by Plexus $734, but that still means you're paying out $1,000 a year to hold that spousal account silver. Okay. And then you're going to say to me, but Wendy, I get paid points on that person. Yep, you're right. You get paid $15 to have that spousal account. That's 6 points. You get paid $15.78. But Wendy, what about the PV? I get my PV, I get his PV. I'm like, yeah, I've actually done the math on that too. And I've seen this, you guys. I've seen when, let's just say I, for instance, have 300 PV under myself, and I make sure that Josh's PV is 200 PV. I only get paid 15% on those two accounts. This silver account would make more money if it was never existing and you had $500 PV, because you'd be making $100 back in just that 25% commission, just to have them roll over and just order with you. You're not paying shipping extra. You're getting paid more from the company to get to that 25%. Like, it pays you more to keep him with you, not as a customer, but just taking product and you just ordering it. Annually, you can make $1,200 just by him ordering under you and not having his own account, versus you now pay $1,800 a year to have that separate account. Let me see. Investment, bad investment. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense. I want to do things that pay me, not the other way around. Okay, next screen. You can't work a diamond business on a silver experience. And that's what I was talking about earlier, is that talking about the business is not easy for a beginner. It's not easy for somebody who's just doing this brand new. It's not easy unless somebody maybe already has a prior network marketing experience. It takes confidence, and that confidence transfers, because then those people feel your confidence, and then they are built, that belief is built because of that confidence, and they'll do whatever you suggest. But that takes time. And so here you are, kind of new into this. You've maybe been with Plexus for a year or 2 years, and you still maybe need a little bit more education on the products, maybe some more testimonials, and you're trying to balance both of these businesses with little amounts of experience and a confidence level that's transferring that might be weak. Whereas if you waited until you were at a different rank, a higher rank, a jewel rank or whatever, there's a testimony in they feel like, I can do this. I did this. Oh my goodness. I'm an emerald. Did your confidence change, Heather? Yeah, it just does. Okay. So growing your confidence with network marketing, growing knowledge about your company and the products. And I don't remember what the last one said. So growing your business by investing in people and developing them. That is your interest. That's your high interest bearing accounts, is actually the people. So go practice developing golds, go practice developing rubies, go practice all of that before you try building a spousal account, because it's not fair to those people that spouse isn't building up those people and working them. You actually have to do that on top of all of your other ones. So it's a little bit different work. Okay, next screen, Heather, please. Thanks for flipping back. Okay, it is human nature to want it and want it now. It is also a sign of immaturity. Be willing to delay pleasure for a greater result, and that is a sign of maturity. So if we waited until we got to diamond re-entry points, which is 6,000 points, we would be on average making close to $15,000 a month. We would also be securing the diamond pool, the sapphire pool, and the emerald pool. And I don't know if you guys understand or know about those pools with the compensation plan yet. Really, you don't even hear about it until you hit Jewel, but whatever our monthly sales are for that month, whatever Plexus's monthly sales are for that month, we, as Jewels, we get a percentage of that. And we get to divide that percentage by all the people that held that rank. So I think Emerald is 1, maybe 3%, and then 2, and then 1. I believe that's how it goes, 3, 2, 1. So that is a considerable amount of money. If you were to hold those ranks, you would be guaranteed $28,792 in just Jewel pool bonuses for the year. If you're not holding those, you're kind of like, I'm missing out on actually almost a whole year's income. Because I know when we started Plexus, that's about what our income taxes were, was $28,000 a year. I told you we were at poverty level, so big deal. All right, what if we waited? Let's see the next screen. This is a non-holding emerald trying to build a Ruby spousal account. Okay, so they're not holding their points. The Ruby husband is holding his. That $15,000 just dropped to $5,000. It just dropped considerably, and you're missing out on $9,000 annually in Jewel pool income potential. Okay, so it's hard to build. You want to make sure you're developing other people who can run their businesses for you so that your business grows stronger. It is very hard to go back and forth because you're not signing quality people and you're not putting the time into them and coaching them the way that you want. I'm going to show you another thing. What if we did this instead? What if we are holding Emerald and we built a Ruby account, not our husband. This is another person. We'll just say this is Rockstar Ruby. And this Rockstar Ruby is working her own business. She's doing her own contest. She's doing her own events. Woo, there's time right there off of your plate. And you are now making 2,000 points and you're like, get part back into the Emerald pool. You just went from like, I don't know, $5,000 not holding with your Ruby husband to now $7,000 a month. Like, you just increased your business by $2,000 a month by just developing somebody other than your spouse. Okay. I'm trying to make it so that you guys kind of see it's better to work with people, because I mean, how many of you really have a spouse that's doing that account besides Clint? He is like the exception to all my rules. He's like doing his own thing, but it's like, they're not. Like, Josh didn't, and maybe yours are. And I'll tell you what, a man does not need, TJ, tell me if I'm wrong here. A man does not need a title behind his name in this Plexus business as much as he would rather see the money coming in and making sure the business is secure and strong and doing good. Do you want the title or do you want the income?
Yeah, I would agree. If Heather's making the money and I just get to see it and kind of encourage her, I'm fine with that. I don't need my name necessarily. You know, I like to try and get some of my own people, but she's obviously done a lot of work under my account and I've done some myself, but it's like, whether I'm doing it or she's doing it, I don't really care. It's just as long as it's happening. So.
Right. Right. Yes. That's awesome. Okay. Next screen. We're almost done, guys. Hang in with me here. Thanks, TJ. Okay, so how do I build a lasting, strong, and solid business? This is what's so cool. Winning at money is 80% behavior. Just like I said, if you want to be a good parent, or if you want to be a stronger Christian, or if you want to be good in business, it's actually behavior, and 20% head knowledge. So you can learn things as you go, but it's really about your behavior. What to do isn't the problem, it's actually doing it. And most of us know what to do, but we won't do it. And that is a quote directly from Dave Ramsey, who I happen to have a lot of respect for because he helped us get out of debt. So how do we do that? The next screen is going to encourage us in ways by asking some questions. Oh, did it disappear? That's not it. Is there one more or no?
It's gone.
It's gone.
That's
That's
on.
okay. You know what? I think I can pull it up really quick on my phone because I really want you guys to ask yourself these questions. Here we go. I apologize for the delay. The questions are: challenge yourself in how you work your Plexus business. Ask yourself these questions. Is what I'm doing cultivating growth or loss? Do you guys know how to figure out what your loss percentage is with the level ones that you sign up under your spouse account? You count those up, and then you count up who's not ordering. So, I mean, Heather and I can help you figure that out, but it's really important. Are you having like a 50% loss, a 60% loss, an 80% loss? Because that's a behavior issue. It's not a work ethic issue. Obviously your work ethic is good. It's a behavior issue, and we want to change that. So we want to cultivate growth, not loss. How can I improve my team and train that down? What you do, whatever we model out there as human beings, it just like our children will take that and they'll either learn the good parts of us or the bad parts of us. And our team will do the same thing. They will model the behavior that we show them because they're young, they're immature, they're still learning, and they're going to trust you. They're going to trust you to give them the best answers, the best results. And is it for that time being? I don't know. Am I focused on long-term stability or short-term wins? Contests like what we had last month are so fun, and it feels so good and such an honor to like have your name out there that say I earned 2 remarkable tablets. It's fun. And the iPad one, we did that. We've had a calendar one where we've done that, and I get proud of you guys. But if you go back and look at those people that you signed up last month in April when that contest was, or March, how many of those people stuck around? How did you coach them? How did you train them? How did you gain interest-bearing results from those people? You want to train them to be turning around and building a business, and that takes practice. So my suggestion, this is just a suggestion, if you want to grow your business right now, like you want building, you need to develop, and I'm saying need because I've seen it work. You need to develop level 1 and level 2 goals. We concentrate way too much on silvers, which is not a bad thing, but silvers, as you could see, when I showed you those examples, they cost money. It costs somebody to be a silver more than it costs them. It's going to pay them to be gold. It's going to cost them to be silver. Okay. I don't want anybody to come into Plexus and have to have any of their money taken away and not have them get something back, which is why I always want to get somebody to gold or beyond. Gold also lets you know if that person has the vision to take it all the way or if they're just really happy at being gold. It's like a tipping point, and you can get people to gold. Anybody can get to gold. Go wide before deep. And last but not least, if you're on the cusp of hitting the next big rank, think about who are your 7 jewel level 1s. Who have you talked to about going all the way to the top of this company with? who has that influence, who has that charisma, who has that tenacity and that grit and that emotional maturity, because that takes you to the top. Emotional maturity. If you know who those 7 level 1s are, then congratulations, you have a legacy business. So there you go.
Thank you so much, Wendy. That was so good.